Woohoo! You made it to video number 2. I gotta say, I'm a little psyched about this video because this is where we dive into the good stuff. And I love helping people with messaging. So, all successful businesses and brands have a core message that encompasses everything that they stand for. And as I mentioned in the previous video, your brand story fills that gap as to how you lived and embodied that experience and how you found the solution. Anytime, I would say for the most part, anytime, actually I should say always, our message is always our own breakthrough. Because that's the thing that we want to shout from the rooftops, that we want to share with people, that we want people to know there is another way and I have figured it out and I want to help you do the same. Can you feel my excitement in this? If you look at all of the really big leaders that have built these compelling brands, in literally 5 words or less, you can summarize what their core message is. So, Marie Forleo, everything is figureoutable. Todd Herman, the 90-day year. Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule. Brene Brown, the power of vulnerability. Simon Sinek, what's your why? Sally Hogshead, what's your fascination factor? All of these public figures, whether they're authors or researchers, entrepreneurs, whatever it may be, they've put in the work and the research and they've developed a concept around themes that either is going to cater to a pain point or a pleasure point. So having a background in film and theater, this is what I was always doing when we were promoting, whether it be a show or a short film for a festival. It's getting everyone on board with an idea, like what's the message and how is this going to resonate? How is this going to educate and inspire the audience to either take action, make a change, maybe have a perspective shift, whatever it may be, and everything kind of starts from like core message, concept, themes, and then the art and science, I guess you could say, of connecting with your audience. All powerful messages call people in and inspire them to take action, right? Because without action, there's actually no impact. If you just read something and you're like, wow, that was so inspiring, but then you don't go and implement it or take action, then you're not really creating that lasting impact in your life. So in your messaging, you really want to dig up, how do I get people, how do I move them, really? That's to me what a core message is about. Oftentimes, especially in personal development and coaching and consulting, we are confronted with people's biggest fears because in order for them to take action, you have to help them overcome those fears because people will naturally self-sabotage. Again, going back to those core words I talked about in video number 1. The more you shine light on your fears and your wounds and you heal those, the more you can show up and really live out to your fullest potential. And I know this sounds a little cheesy, we talk about living to our full potential, but it's just when you really have that moment and it clicks with you that we're only here for a certain amount of time, it can be a life-changing moment that can literally propel you forward because we kind of live like we have our whole life. Anyways, going on a tangent here, not the point of this video. So I want to help you come up with what your core message is, and again, I promise you, if you do this work, if you sit down and you do it, you can't not get the insight, right? Because everything is within you. Your genius is within you. You can work with someone like me or a mentor or another coach to help bring that out, but ultimately the answers are within you. So I'm gonna again invite you to be, take that radical self-responsibility for yourself and do this work. So, what do you believe that goes against the status quo? And this could be in whatever your industry is. This could be societal, cultural, parental programming, personal, anything that, a lot of times in messaging, there's gonna be so many different messages out there, and whether you resonate or not, that's kind of where you find your sweet spot of well, I don't agree with this. So one of my clients, we were working on her signature brand story video, and she is a nutritionist, and she said there is so much underlying fear and guilt in the health and fitness industry. And so her core message is like, stop feeling guilty. Stop feeling guilty about the foods that you eat, about the amount of time that you spend relaxing, about your abilities to cook. Just like stop with the guilt, because that is what marketing tells us. And so she was taking a really bold stance for that. So the first question is, what do you rebel against? What do you not agree with in your industry? And the second thing is, what breaks your heart? So I'm going to answer this for myself. What breaks my heart is that people have completely lost touch with themselves and their intuition and their ability to make decisions, that they are so reliant and codependent on getting the answers from someone else. And I say this coming from a place of being a mentor, of being a director, and essentially telling people what works, what doesn't work. But ultimately, and at the end of the day, like, I want people to know that you are so much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Okay, I want to give you 3 writing prompts that can help you communicate more clearly and effectively with your ideal client. This is also available on my website, on my blog, but I'm just going to pull it up right now and read it to you. What does my ideal client need to believe in order to move forward? My response is, my soulmate client needs to understand it's safe to put her message out there and it's possible to become whole again after emotional abuse. Second question, what does my dream client need to hear most right now? Where is she most stuck? Again, this is the answer in my industry. She needs to know that reconnection to yourself will set you free from the expectations of others, and that she already has the key inside of her. Question number 3, what do you want people to know that you had to learn the hard way? Again, hint, brand story. So taking radical self-responsibility for my life and how I show up in my business and in my art is entirely up to me. It's up to me to give myself permission, and oh my goodness, am I ever free now. So see how I answered these questions, and they all sort of built off of each other. And naturally, because this was my story and these were my struggles, I attract people on that same level, and I am the most qualified to help people, not just because I have the experience, I have the education, I have a master's degree, but I have that experience and I've been through all of the stages. So I can really help anyone on whatever level they're at. So I want to invite you to head on over to the workbook, and I'm gonna say it again. If we were working one-on-one together, I literally would walk you through these exercises. So I promise you, if you do the work, and I'm going to leave that responsibility up to you, if you do the work, you will get the answers. You will get the results. So I invite you to pull out the workbook and go through these. And I would love for you to share in the Facebook group or send me an email and let me know what your answers are. Let me know where you're stuck, where you're unsure. I would love to help you navigate through this process. The next video, we're getting more juicy. We're building up to actually share your story, your message, your teachings on camera, and how to get in that energy, tap into your confidence, and how to show up on camera and exude that energy so that you can really connect with your ideal client, customer, or audience. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bisous from Paris. Ciao.